Hey guys, this is Alex. Sorry for that little outburst, but I thought I'd let you know that I do have a bit of a temper, especially when it comes to the rights of this country. With the rights of this country, it is simply innocent until proven guilty. And you see, I have a business to run. It is an important business. I write for a living. And because of how I write a lot of those kinds of things, I have to get to the truth. I can't come up with ideas of Nazism and automatic death penalties and those kinds of things. And, I'm not going to point out fingers to my audience. But, honestly, I don't care if you're a family member or not. If you're into stuff as those things I mentioned, and if you're making posts on my Facebook in which visitors to my business would see your false beliefs about violence, harm, and conflict out there, I will disown you. I will not be your friend anymore, not want to do with you anymore, not want anything with you. And I'm just saying this, because often, with the internet, now you have members of family that are conflicting each other, that are fighting each other because of how there are these old prejudices, like when it comes to things like, death penalties and Nazism, that are just unacceptable. And sure, I think abortion is an important issue, but when it comes to me talking about abortion being a sacrifice, I'm not saying anything about an automatic death penalty. Like when it comes to something like abortion, when I write, when I talk, when I release things on DeviantArt and Patreon, I am professional. I analyze things. I am neutral. I don't immediately jump the gun. I think at times it's like, how can I say it? At times the effort to be human makes you less of a human. That's basically the gist of it. And, I have a lot of friends, or at least enough friends for someone like me who's an author who just writes thousands of pages, in a year, and I'm on Patreon trying to make money, trying to make my customers happy. That's what I'm trying to do. And it's not going to help when there are friends and family members on my Facebook giving ridiculous, politically incorrect ideas that just basically gear us up for experiencing the darkness of ancient times. That's what we often get, when we just accept the death penalty or just accept abortion. And I don't just accept abortion. I think oftentimes abortion is wrong. And also, the death penalty is often wrong because people can be mistaken, they could be confused, they could be too sensitive, you name it, they could be racist, whatever. And what it is, guys, is that if you're a Nazi, you're not my friend. I can't accept you into my business because you would basically harm me. That's what you would do. You would harm others. And, you don't have to call yourself a Nazi if you believe in violence, like automatic death penalties and those kinds of things. But if you're not a Nazi, what are you? Just a nameless person? Someone with no destiny? Someone with no word written for the identity? What were you thinking with all these things about prejudice and racism and, just violence against the police and not only that, violence from the police? Guys, makes sense. And like I said, I don't care if you're a family member or not. Mess with me, I'll disown you. I'll unfriend you. I'll just say, toodaloo, adieu, bon voiture. That's what I'll say. And I hope you understand this and, try to enjoy my art. Try to enjoy my literature. I may play violent video games, but that doesn't mean I really approve it. I mean, when it comes to violence and stuff, at times it just happens. And we have to go through the process of getting through life bit by bit to see who is innocent and who is guilty. And I'm sorry, I have friends that I've let go who were just thinking of rape and other stuff. And I just had to say, adieu. Come on. If someone was a violent person or a Nazi or something, would you be friends with that person? With there being so much junk on the internet, so much cable on TV and stuff, I think it's we've forgotten who we are. And we just think of all these sides, like Republicans and Democrats and Nazis and fascists and communists and those kinds of things, as just little blips on paper. Little blips on paper that don't mean anything. As if the struggle of people in the death camps just mean nothing anymore. And this is kind of like my class. This is kind of like my education for you. So in the next 2 weeks, I'll keep an eye on your posts. And if I see one thing before or after the 2 weeks, zoop, you're not my friend anymore, because, it's with my belief of God, with my belief of gods, with my belief of religion and religions, I have to be a good person. There could be mixtures of right and wrong here, but there can't be such an absurd, devilish kind of thing unless it's in a work of art to talk about who someone is. There's a difference between a devilish thing created by an artist and a devilish thing created by someone in real life. The artist does it just for information purposes, for entertainment purposes only. Whereas when you get into the Nazi stuff and those kinds of things in real life, that is not cool. It is totally not cool. I don't want that. That's freakish. It's terrible. It's sickening. And this is kind of like my political debate because, as a liberal Protestant, I do have the right to my politics. And you have the right to yours within reason. Because freedom doesn't mean there are no restrictions. It doesn't mean you do whatever the hell you want. That's not what it means. The founding fathers would have never meant that. Aristotle would have never meant that. None of them would have meant that. They would mean with freedom that just basically there would be the system where there would be love, truth, and sincerity, not hate and bigotry. I know the Bible tells you to kind of hate yourself a little bit, but it doesn't tell you to be Hitler. Okay, and I could be speaking to Andy, I could be speaking to Nathan, I could be speaking to anybody out there. It's important because I think it's with all of this TV and cable and stuff and internet, we've lost our feelings. We've lost our sense of selves. We're like the idiot with the maggot in his brain. That's what we're like, when we go to the darkness of the wrongs. So don't let me be dogmatical on you, but, if there's a maggot in your brain, just take it out, burn it, something. Don't go on with, the wrong beliefs, Find truth, right, love, and sincerity. And trust me, you'll be my friend for a long time. And who knows? Maybe you won't even watch this video, and, well, if you keep doing what you're doing, then I'll just say zip. Nada. Anyways, thank you for watching, and hope you enjoy my art. Take care.